we're gonna put these dunnage boards along the middle, pretty much the middle, but along the top of this product. And then we're gonna take our padding tarps and put them on top of that. The main reason we don't want to put the padding tarps down first is because if it rains, snows, because you know you can use this video any time of the year, but if there's any type of moisture, that moisture can hit your tarp. It can actually soak up, and then this material right here is just going to soak right into this material, and you could end up having condensation on your actual material. So that's why you want to put your beams along the actual material, and then your cloth or vinyl padding tarp on top of that, so that any moisture wicks off to the side. And I'll show you as I'm going through. All right, so my front one, I have it set up where, see, the material comes out. I want this to come so that way as a tarp comes down, it actually flows over. So now I will take my padding tarp. Again, it could be cloth or vinyl, doesn't matter, just whatever you or your company provides you for a padding tarp. Throw that like that. And if you're asking questions on why a padding tarp, this is to protect your actual tarp from the material. So we've got that one. I like how these two are set up. So I'm gonna go ahead and open this bad boy up, cover this material. And this one, I want to move just a little bit. So now going all the way down this product, I've got a board going all the way. So any rain that goes in my tarp is just going to flow off on the side. Yep, there's my center line right there of my tarp. So I need to come over just a smidge. There we go. I just lined up my tarp perfectly on my load. You can already see the tent forming. I'll be able to lay this out. I'll put a bar right there that's gonna hold that tight. I'll line up the center line on the backside, and I'm gonna get down and start doing my bungees. Once you got your tarp laid out, to have a nice, clean, tight tarp, you just wanna pull one side. And I can see all the way down. That lets me know exactly where my straps are gonna be. So I'm gonna put this right here, hold this in place. That also lets me know that I have a clean line. So you can see how it comes in right here. This isn't gonna be where I put my dunnage. My dunnage is probably gonna be somewhere around here. This is just to hold this line in place so that I can create a nice tight tarp, which is going to do a few things. For the owner-ups out there, it helps you with your fuel mileage. It helps you a lot with your fuel mileage, because as the wind's going, you have less drag, so it actually makes you more efficient on the road. Some guys will just try and hurry up and tarp to get on the road, but what they're not realizing is actually costing them fuel. And then depending on your, you or your company, if you're on percentage, that, it costs you money. All right, so now I'm on the other side. The line that I'm going to be doing my hooks to is up here. So you can see this one would be too low. So I'm just going to take this one right here. So hold that in place. And you can already start to see the tent tarp doing what it needs to do. So I'm just going to pull one down there. Then I'm going to start doing my bungees. When I've got a big tarp job like this, well, I mean, I don't call it big, but it could be more time consuming. And I want to look at my efficiency. What I want to do is, I know I've got 5 bundles under here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Obviously 5, 2.5. I can see my two big points. My middle line's right here. So I always want to throw my first bungee right in the middle. So then that way, as I start to clean up my tarp, I kind of have this focal point that I know is my middle spot. So you just flap it under like that, take the little excess, put it like that. Never, ever, ever hook your bungees directly to your hook if you want to keep your tarps for a long period of time. So it's always best to do it like this, and then just bring them up and over. Hook it into there. And then as I start to clean things up, I'll do a couple on this side. I'll do a couple on that side. That's gonna hold the main tightness in place, and then you just go through and finish up. So now you can already see my line is extremely clean, all the way going down the trailer, and that's even with my bungees with the hook there. So you can already see, and this was with me hardly doing anything on the other side yet, and it's already starting to get some of that tightness. Once that does it to the other side, that's gonna be tight. And then just so you know, when you've got a hook that's close to the edge like this, there's no reason to go underneath, because you know it's metal on metal. See, it's just gonna go right there. So I'm just gonna bend that. And then what I always like to do is, you see the hook, the direction in which I want to pull, so I'm pulling this way. If I would have done it this way, like this, and then I would have pulled, it's possible I could hit a bump, a vibration, and that could slip off of there, and then now I've got a bungee going down the road or on the highway, and that could be dangerous to pedestrians. So understand, pay a quick attention to what you're doing, because now when I do it like this, that hook's in the proper way, it's not going anywhere. And see, I don't like that. So even though I'd like it that tight, I don't like that at all. Let's put it right there. Now that I've got my main ones all the way done, I'm gonna go ahead and do my board up here, so that way when I go to the other side, I can tighten that down over there and I'm good to go. This all together, I think it may have been like 9.5 minutes, and that's it. So it doesn't take that much time, and you're gonna have a nice, clean, tight tarp that's gonna save you on fuel mileage, or your company on fuel mileage. And I didn't show this, but I just thought, you know what, let me go ahead and show it. You can already see the tent tarp working. I have this piece here that's just for me straighten it out. That's gonna come back that way. I've got this piece coming here. I've got this flap right here, but I'm not concerned about this whatsoever, because all I'm gonna do is, you know, fold that up real nice, put my board right there, that holds that in place. When I'm putting on my dunnage, I always like to have my tight really tarp, my tarp really tight, and then I put the board on where it can't go all the way down. So this one, yeah, it'll still work. I like it like that, so then once I put pressure on it and it tightens down and it goes there, it makes all of that extra tight. So that's my last step. In regards to that, I got to put a couple of bungees over here, do the back. It's time to hit the road and go see my family. So there's the tent tarp. You can actually see there's no way for the water to actually collect. So even once I'm sitting, if this load is sitting for a while and it just has rain constantly coming down on it, the water has no place to actually sit on top of the load. That's what you want. Your tent tarp can make it where your front can be a little off. That part doesn't matter. What matters is protecting the equipment. So I'm on the back. I've got everything. You can see how tight it is. You can see the tent tarp's doing its thing. So I'm back here and I've got my hooks there, but I got this extra material here because that's the part that goes underneath. So if I put bungees here, all it's gonna do is lift that up. So I brought this board over because I had a feeling I may be using it. So now all I've got to do, boom. Now that keeps that nice and tight. All right, and that's it. Put a board in the back, mainly because this tarp, well, for this load, the flap was gonna go over enough where I couldn't put hooks in, and I didn't want that all flapping back there, so that's protecting that back there. See this? Streamline all the way down. Got this in the front, same thing. That's not going anywhere. There's no water getting under there. And we got the tent tarp on the top, so when the rain or whatever, depending on the season, comes, the water hit that and just come right up the sides.